Can you hear now, Katie? Thank you for letting me know you couldn't hear. I hope that it's working now with this microphone. Yay! Wonderful. All right. It's good to have backup microphones around. Thank you for letting me know. That is so helpful. Well, this month in our live classes at Pathways in St. Louis, we explored a story of the Hazel branch and the beauty and gifts and the magic of the hazelnut tree and the hazelnut fruit and the old story called the Hazel branch. As we gathered this evening, it feels like an evening to remind ourselves that not everything that's sacred begins in a clear way. Sometimes the doorway is not very clear into the realm that we're going to explore. Sometimes it begins like just a breath. Sometimes it begins with our shoulders finally relaxing after a long day. And we feel that something loosens its grip on us and we can breathe. That's not usually unusual. It's a very common experience, and it can be a doorway, it can be a crossing point if we are willing to step through. A quiet stepping through, away from the world of noise, and into the realm of awareness that helps us see and feel into that which is sprinkled with fairy tale enchantment, but not in the way of fantasy, in the way of active visioning in your mind's eye. And then we find ourselves one foot in the mundane reality and one foot in the enchanted realms of the invisible. And tonight we will walk toward the hazel tree, a tree that is known for wisdom, for holding the kind of knowing that is timeless, eternal, and ripens slowly into very deep wisdom that is heart-centered and eternal in spirit. But you must wait for it, just like you must wait for hazelnuts to be ready for us to gather and enjoy. We must wait for this heart-centered wisdom to ripen fully as well. Now, some of you might have thread or yarn or ribbon, and maybe you have a branch or two with you. I have a hazel branch with me, and I have some lengths of cordage, cotton cordage, that I'm going to use to connect with my branch. If you have them nearby, it's good to hold them in your hands or in your lap. What we do tonight will be very, very simple, but don't let it mislead you into thinking that it's not strong. It is going to be very strong, and it can go and touch us very deeply. The well beneath the world is the story we will follow in tonight into the realm. There are old stories, older than maps, older than names we use for things. Stories that remember the world as it once was, fully alive in both matter and spirit and light. In one such story, at the center of all things, there is a well. This water well is not a very materially impressive place. It's not a temple in today's terms. There's clear, pure water and stillness, and around it stand 9 hazel trees. The branches of the hazel trees bend low, as if trying to listen, and from those branches fall hazelnuts of wisdom. One by one they drop into the water, and in the water a salmon fish awaits. As the hazelnut drops, salmon scoops it up and eats it, and with each hazelnut, the salmon's body begins to shimmer and receives a light mark. One hazelnut from each tree. 9 hazelnuts eaten, 9 marks of light on the salmon's body appear. And it was said that whoever tastes of that salmon will not just become smart, but will become awake to all the knowledge of the world, able to see what is true, feel what is right, know what matters, and be powerfully rooted in wisdom. And there's a part that's often forgotten. Hazel trees do not try to give you answers. They try to give you opportunities and powerful questions. So the story continues on to tell us of a cook whose master was determined to catch and eat the salmon of knowledge. And one day, the master succeeded and caught the salmon fish with 9 marks of light on its body and brought it to the cook and said, "You will cook this fish according to very specific instructions, and while you do that, you must not taste it, not even a smidge. You have to serve it to me." The master expected to eat the fish and gain all the knowledge of the world and all the power it brings with it. But, as you know, the hazelnut tree does not really give us simple answers. The hazelnut trees tell us that which will teach us and imbue us with wisdom the most. So you will not be surprised that while cook was working to prepare this fish dish for the master, something went amiss. The skin on the salmon began to blister, and the cook used a thumb to press on one of those and pop them, and burned the thumb and put it in the mouth and sucked onto the skin of the fish, and the cook gained all the knowledge of the world and the power that comes with it. And the master ate the fish, never finding all the knowledge of the world and the power that comes with it. So let's consider this for a moment. Many of us were taught that knowledge lives outside of us, in books, in experts, in systems, and those things have their place. But some of the ancient traditions preserved something that teaches a much quieter truth, that knowing is a relationship between me and the world, a relationship between me and my own inner listening. In earlier times, to know something did not mean to be in possession of a lot of information. It meant to sense unseen patterns, to read moments, energy, situations, to trust the flicker of insight before it is proven. This is why the hazel is also connected to divination. Not fortune telling, but divination that is a deep kind of listening. And interestingly, as soon as you start to listen, you have already received all the guidance that you need. And the question remains, are you ready to trust this guidance? There's a thread running to nearly every old tradition, and Hazel protects that thread. People used hazel branches to protect their homes, their animal shelters, travelers. Hazel branch protects us through clarity. It helps us see what belongs and what does not belong, what is ours to carry and what we need to set aside. And sometimes that is the hardest protection of all, because clarity asks us to be awake and ready to change. So tonight, if you have a branch, maybe you have a hazel branch, maybe you have another type of branch, we will use our colorful ribbon and cording, and we will not just embellish an object. We're going to shape a tool that can remind us how to stand within our own heart's wisdom, how to access our inner knowing. So bring your branch into your hands. Do not rush. Feel its texture and its shape. Feel its weight. Feel it in one hand. Feel all of the little bumps and irregularities on your branch. Each of these little bumps is a memory. This branch was once a part of a big living hazel tree, reaching, growing toward the light until the tree gifted it into our keeping. And today, let's not ask with words, but let's ask the hazel branch with attention. What do you wish to become? What do you wish to become? Thank you, Katie. You're my audio assistant tonight. I think I fixed the microphone now. Thank you. So I was saying, while the camera changed and it looks like the microphone stopped working, I hope we're back now. It's telling me that it's working now. I was saying, let's connect with each other by sharing our inspirations tonight. What is ringing true for us as we consider the story of the hazel branch? I have a hazel branch. You might have a different branch or a different tree you resonate with that you might want to connect with in a significant way. The cords I have are not ribbons, they're cotton cords. And I have white, pink, and black. And you don't have to have these colors. These are just what resonates with me. We will consider what it means. How can I use my branch to connect me to that which Hazel can teach me? I'm going to start by wrapping white. And as I wrap white, I connect and open my heart and my mind to clarity. I invite clarity into my experiences. I invite clarity into my thinking. I invite clarity into my feeling. I invite clarity into my doing. Then I'm going to take this pink cord and I'm going to start wrapping above white. And as I wrap this pink, I am open to anchoring clarity into my life experiences. I'm going to try to wrap them together. I feel like I still want clarity to follow. Let me unwrap this. I will want clarity to follow the anchoring pink. Let's do that. I intend to anchor clarity into my thinking, anchor clarity into my feeling, and anchor clarity into my doing, into my deeds. Now I'm going to invite black for protection. And I connect to the ways in which clarity I invited into my thinking, feeling, and action. Clarity which I anchored into my thinking, feeling, and acting. I now am open to allowing that clarity to also protect me on my life's paths, in my thinking, feeling, and acting. Let your hands speak. Let the colors and the branch you choose speak what is meaningful to you. Your heart and your hands will tell you the truth. They'll show you if there are places where you rush. They'll show you if there are places where you hesitate. They'll show you if there are places where you're too rigid or too soft. They will teach you how to listen deeply, how to tap into your inner wisdom. And when your connection with the thread and the branch feels complete, hold the wand in your hands close to your heart. If you hold your branch with your threads close to your heart, relax and start to breathe with it slowly. One deep breath for your body, for your physical life, your grounding. I invite clarity that I anchor in my feeling, thinking, and acting, doing. Clarity that protects me. I invite it into my physical life experience to guide me to stay grounded. One more deep breath. This breath is for the mind, for my thoughts and questions to be imbued with clarity, to be anchored in knowing that is deep inside the hearts of hearts, for my questions to guide me to the answers my spirit needs me to find. One more deep breath. This one is for my spirit, the part of me that knows without proof being needed. And gently let your breath even out and relax. As you relax, allow impressions and inspirations to reach you through your mind's eye. If it feels comfortable, you can gaze into the distance or soften your gaze or close your eyes. Allow inspirations to arise and reach you. You might see a path unfolding soft beneath your feet. You begin to walk this soft path slowly. There's no destination to reach, only a place to arrive into. The air starts to shift as you walk. It feels cooler and more quiet. And then you see hazel trees. In the enchanted forest, you have arrived to the hazel grove. Their branches curved and they form a circle. You step inside this circle. This is a place that does not rush you. One of the trees in the circle particularly resonates with your heart. You go up to the tree and you place your hand on the tree. You feel its presence. You offer a question. What is it? Ready to be seen, that I am ready to understand. You pause. You listen, you understand. Maybe you ask, who is it that walks with me? A plant, an animal, a presence, a guide. You pause, you listen, you recognize. Let it come in its own way and stay here for a moment. And when you're ready, you step out of the grove. You return slowly to the present moment. You awaken your eyes again, or open your eyes if you had them closed, and you now know how to find the Hazel Grove in the enchanted forest where you can go to find questions, to hear, to listen, to recognize at any time that it feels right for you to do so. But what do you do with what you discover and learn in the Hazel Grove in the enchanted forest? Well, the hazel carries a shadow as well. It warns us we might receive truth and reshape it into something easier to carry. So whenever you visit the Hazel Grove in the enchanted forest realm, remember to ask yourself, what did I notice this time that I am tempted to ignore? That is often where the true pearl of wisdom for that visit resides, quietly waiting for you to find it. So, as you hold this experience at the surface of this short time we've had together, share some things that are coming to your mind that you feel inspired to share with the group in the chat box. What you share will likely be a gift and an inspiration for another person who will read it and might need to find those words, those exact words that to you might humbly, smoothly arrive, but to them might open the door they need to find. So don't be shy to share some inspirations that this evening's conversation is bringing up for you. They will be a gift to you and others. As we feel that something has shifted, the hazel tree is patient, and it will meet you again in a dream, in a moment, on a trail, in a garden, in a forest. Quietly, it will show up without warning. Let's see. I've enjoyed sharing this with you, and I'm really excited to hear what you are inspired by. Keep going within. That's beautiful, Katie. Thank you. And remember, everyone, you now know how to find your way back to the Hazel Grove in the enchanted forest realm, where you can go back when it feels right to do so. Until then, walk gently in beauty, listen deeply in love, and trust fully that what you're learning to hear has always been there. It is wonderful to connect with you for our fairy tale live streams every month. Hi, Vicky. Message was take your time. Slowing down. Keep going within. Take your time. Beautiful, both of these messages. I wonder if anyone has had a message about knowing the path. There's something about remembering that path and finding our way back to the grove, remembering that we know the path. Wonderful. Well, remember, there haven't been many new blog posts. There will be some in the next few weeks at theroseandthebee.org. Feel free to share those with anyone who might find them inspiring. Our next live stream is in 4 weeks, towards the end of May. Um, I will see some of you at the classes at the store. I also hope to see some of you at moon meditation walks at some point during the calendar year. It's interesting that they're starting with water. The first full moon meditation walk was fully in rain. I was completely drenched, but still walked the path, and it was really, really special. The second one was a new moon walk, and that one was right after a rainstorm. So all the trees were completely wet, and the trail was very wet but not muddy, which was very nice. So we'll see what the next full moon in not too far into the future will bring. I wonder what kind of weather and if water will be following these walks throughout the year. It will be very interesting. If you can't join me for a walk, I still hope you will make your own time to walk and share your experiences. Feel free to email or post or find a connection on my YouTube channel. There will be little updates, and in your email, if your email is in our circle at the roseandthebee.org website, then you're going to know the guiding thoughts for each moon meditation walk. If you want to just walk wherever you are and share your reflections and insights, that would be wonderful too. Sending you so much love from the realm where fairy tales meet fiber threads, and looking forward to connecting with you again very soon. Blessings, and thank you for being here.